Hey, what's up? This is Ben with WODprep, and in this video, I am going to give you the ultimate guide to CrossFit hand care. So if you've been struggling with rips, tears, calluses, and just painful hands, hopefully this video is going to be the video that sets the record straight and finally makes it a lot easier to grab onto all these things that we do in CrossFit. Really quick, I just want to say I am not associated with CrossFit HQ in any way, shape, or form, and these opinions are my own. They are WODprep's. And another thing, I'm going to introduce a couple different hand care options, and I'm not sponsored by anyone here. So I'm not doing this to try to get paid by any of these companies. These are actually products that I've used, and I'd have it no other way. WODprep cannot be bought out. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today is shaving your calluses. So when people start doing CrossFit, or they've done it for a significant period of time, you'll start to get calluses across your hand. So I don't know if you can see here in this video, I'll have a close-up picture too. I have calluses on the middle, ring, and pinky finger. So these fingers tend to get a lot of calluses, and then sometimes I'll get some calluses in the middle of my palm. You might be a little bit different, but chances are you probably have some calluses starting to form. Basically, a callus just feels like a bump of hard skin, and it's generally dead skin, and we're going to try to get rid of that. The reason being is because when you have a callus and you go and grip onto something like a barbell, or I guess more often a pull-up bar, the callus will get stuck and get jammed in between the pressure of the weight of yourself on the bar and your hands. So you're going to be gripping, and what happens is the bar will pinch that callus, and eventually with so much friction, the callus will rip off, or you'll get a blood blister underneath the skin. So basically, one of the best ways that I've found in my own personal experience is to get rid of the calluses altogether. If we get rid of the calluses, I know it seems counterintuitive, the calluses are there to toughen up our skin. It's actually better when we're doing CrossFit to get rid of the calluses so that our hands are smooth and there's nothing that can get caught in between our grip and the pull-up bar. So when it comes to trimming or shaving our calluses, I am gonna give you a quick step-by-step instruction on how I do it. You might be different, but hopefully this video will help you get a little bit better and get rid of these pesky calluses that tend to blister. So step number one is you wanna make sure that your hands are moist or wet or soft. Basically, your skin needs to be soft. So it's been a few minutes since I got out of the shower. I actually am going to take a quick break right here and go wash my hands with really warm water to try to get the skin soft, and then we'll keep going. All right, so I've just gone and washed my hands with warm water and soap, so my hands are a lot softer now. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my callus shaver, and I will link to all of this stuff that I demonstrate below this video, but I'm just gonna get my callus shaver. I have a fresh blade installed, so there's a blade right here that I'm gonna run across my hands. Now, granted, if this is gonna gross you out, you don't have to watch, you can close your eyes. We're gonna fast forward it. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take the callus shaver and I'm going to put pressure on the callus, just above the callus, and I'm going to slide across. And what that's going to do when I put pressure and slide across, it just takes off a very thin layer of skin. So the goal is in anywhere between 1 to 5 passes over the callus at various angles and directions. Eventually that callus is going to be gone. Now, really quick, before I move any further, it's really, really, really important that your calluses are not painful or sensitive to the touch. If, like actually right here, I have a little callus that's slightly sensitive to the touch, I am not going to shave that callus today, because what that means is there's probably some sort of a blister underneath the skin. So if it's sensitive to the touch and it hurts to touch your calluses, wait an entire day, don't do anything, don't do another workout, wait a full day. So I normally don't shave my calluses until Thursday, which is my rest day. I've had at least 24 hours, but since my last workout, and all of any blisters I might have had are gone. So that's really, really important before moving forward. Okay, so to start, again, all I'm gonna do is take this callus shaver and I'm going to put pressure just above the callus, and you can see here on the pinky, hopefully you can see this. I'm gonna put pressure just above the callus and I'm going to slide the shaver across. And you can see I took off a big chunk of skin there, but now the callus is gone. It's very smooth. So what I'll do is I'm gonna repeat that process across both hands, across all calluses, and I'll probably do a couple different directions for each. You can watch me do it now. Now, really quick, one thing I'd like to point out is that very often I will not have a callus on this pointer finger is what I call it. So I won't have a callus here, so I don't really shave anything there. But you might have noticed I actually did one down here kind of close to the palm. Usually right above the palm, there's a ridge that runs across my below the main calluses. That ridge, I will often come in here and shave once or twice because sometimes there's some dead skin buildup there. And then another thing I want to mention is that actually on the finger pads is where sometimes I will rip and sometimes I'll get calluses. So the finger pads, you need to be very, very careful because the skin there is a lot thinner. There's not as much thickness to the callus. So very gently, I'm going to run my callus shaver across this part of my finger and then also this part of my finger. So you're going to see me do that now. So there you have it. That is a callus-free hand. Basically, when I run my fingers across right here, I have very little bumps. I actually feel a slight bump right there. So I'm just gonna come in and hit it one more time from a couple different angles. I got a little bit more, and now it's smooth. So this hand, in about 12 hours, will be ready to go and will not be nearly as painful and less prone to ripping when I jump onto the bar. So I'm gonna do my other hand really quick now. All right, so after shaving my calluses on both hands, I'm smooth. I don't feel any sensitivity on my hands. The next step is to use some sort of lotion. So I just have a normal hand lotion here. I'm gonna take a couple pumps, and with the lotion on my hand, now I'm going to get my hands nice and soft. One of the biggest issues with doing CrossFit is your hands will tend to get dry and tough with all that chalk on it. There's a very fine line between having hands that are too soft and hands that are too tough where they actually start to rip more. So I always have a general practice where as soon as I'm done shaving my calluses, I'll just take some lotion and put it on my hands, and now they're good to go. Now, I wouldn't recommend putting lotion on right before you go to the gym, so don't do that if you're going to the gym and right after shaving your calluses because you'll probably slip off the bar. Another really quick tip I'd like to make. One thing I'll do is I'll take some Vaseline and I'll put it over top of that. So when I go to shower, it eliminates the pain. If you've ever taken a shower with torn or ripped hands, you know how painful that is. You can either wear rubber gloves or you can take a big dab of Vaseline, put it totally over the callus, and then that way when you're rubbing your hair and washing yourself, you're not gonna get a lot of water causing that callus to really, really burn. Sorry to interrupt today's message. I have a special message from Maddie. Maddie would like for you to subscribe. She told me earlier today she was really upset that you haven't subscribed yet. So Maddie, can you tell everyone? So the next big step to hand care is to change the way you grip the bar. So when you're doing pull-ups, when you're doing toes to bar, when you're doing bar muscle-ups, it's very important how you grab onto the bar. If you grab very high on the bar with either your thumb over the bar or even with your thumb down, and you grab high, that means that the bar is actually going to be running across your palm, and the palm is a very, very easy place to rip and tear and blister. So instead of gripping with like a false grip with the gymnastics, the suicide grip is what I call it, where I'm literally gripping over the bar like this, instead of doing that, I actually grab the bar so that it's sitting right across these pads, right across these calluses, and then I grip all the way around. So you can see here the difference between the two grips. If you are someone who commonly rips on the palm, so if you tend to rip down here, then changing the way you grab onto the bar will significantly change the pressure and the friction that's happening on your hands. It's kind of tricky to change your grip, but it might be something to play around with. Now let's move on to the next big step to protecting your hands for CrossFit, and that is grips. So number one, a great grip that's starting to gain a lot of popularity is the Victory Grip. Again, not sponsored by them at all. I bought these and they're pretty good. And the reason a lot of people like them is because they're designed in a way that allows you to actually grip the bar differently. Now, I will say, in my opinion, it's kind of on the edge of cheating. I'm not saying they're cheating at all, but to me, it makes gripping the bar so much easier that at some point you might see this kind of gripping being banned from CrossFit. Maybe. This is total speculation. So let me show you how it works. And again, I fully endorse these. These are great. And I'm also going to talk about the WOD Nation grips, which are a lot cheaper, also really great. Let me show you how it works really quick. So this is, let's see, this is for my left hand. I have a 3-fingered one. And as you recall, the 3 places you get calluses are these 3 fingers. So it's very convenient. This one goes over all 3. All right, so once you get the grip on, you want to tighten it up nice and tight so that it's right around where your wrist is. Now, this is where this grip is different than other grips. Most people, when they use a gymnastics grip, they will just grab the bar and they just have one piece of leather in between the bar and their palm. But what you actually are supposed to do, and these are specifically designed to do it, is you actually want the grip to fold and wrap around the bar. You're actually supposed to let the fold of the grip lock you into the bar. So what happens is no longer is the pressure all on your grip and on your hand strength. What happens is it actually pulls on the leather, which is wrapped around your wrist, so it allows you to basically take, I don't know, I'm throwing a guess out there, probably 50% of your grip strength is now being transferred into the actual mechanism that's wrapping around your wrist. So it saves your grip a lot. Now, that being said, I do not use gymnastic grips because personally, I like just grabbing on with my bare hands. But if you're someone who tends to lose your grip, you rip very often, Victory grips are a great choice. And if you do it properly, they will help you grab onto the bar with more strength and last a lot longer on it. Another great option for a leather grip is the WOD Nation grip. It's a lot cheaper than the Victory grip. It's not quite as fancily designed, but as you can see, it goes over 2 fingers and you wrap it around just like you would the Victory grip. So I'm wrapping this around my wrist. Now, this particular grip is designed just to grab the bar normally. So again, it's just supposed to be bar, grip, hand. But this is something I actually learned from Noah Olson. He has a video about this, where if you take off the grips so that they're not sitting on your hands, they're not, your fingers aren't going in those holes. If you actually have the grip and grab it like this over top of the bar, it actually is going to function the same way that this Victory grip did, where it kind of locks you into place. So if you can get the hang of it, if you can get it over the bar and then just use your fingertips to press up against that leather, you'll actually find, again, that all of the tension of your gripping will go into your wrist instead of all in your hands. The last grip I want to talk about, this is a new one that I personally love. If I have a tear already, like let's say I have a blister, I will use these to prevent that blister from ripping and still be able to work out. And that is the WOD and Done. So it's not the most environmentally friendly grip because you are supposed to use it once and then throw it away. But what it is it's a tape that I put over top of my hand. So when you get a pack, it comes in a pack like this, and all it is a piece of K-tape. It's a piece of elastic tape with 3 holes in it for, again, those 3 fingers. So these 3 fingers go in the holes, and then the tape actually just sits right on your hands. And since this is really high quality tape, it sticks to your palm, so you don't have any leather folding like we talked about in the previous grips. This is just one layer of tape protecting your hand, but it does a really good job, especially, again, if you already have a blister. This is great to help protect that blister. And then you have these 2 little foldy things at the bottom that you wrap around your hand. So one more tip that I'd like to give beginner CrossFitters specifically is that your hands will toughen up. And as you continue to do CrossFit and continue taking care of your hands, you will see a slow, steady improvement. You'll see less ripping, less tearing, as long as you follow the tips in this video. And another thing I really want to mention is stop wearing the rips and the tears as a badge of honor. I remember when I first started doing CrossFit, I would probably rip my hands once a week almost, and I would wear it like this badge of honor, so proud of the 2 or 3 calluses on my hands and the bloody barbells and bloody pull-up bars. That is kind of disgusting. Actually, it is disgusting, and I really encourage you to get out of that stigma. So understand that ripping your hands prevents you from reaching your top performance. It's dirty, it's unsanitary, it's not what anyone else in your gym wants, and also it's gonna prevent you from doing more work the next day and the next day and the next day. So if you tear, just try to heal it up as quickly as possible and then focus on taking care of your hands so that you don't have to worry about this moving forward. I really hope that you like this video. If you want a free training guide, we have skill training guides to go along with double unders, pull-ups, muscle ups, shoulder mobility, all kinds of stuff. All you have to do is go to WODprep.com and I will send you a free training guide directly to your email inbox. Next, like Maddie mentioned, please hit the subscribe button if you like WODprep. Thumbs up if you like the video, thumbs down if you didn't like that whole shaving nonsense. And last but not least, question of the day. If you were gonna give a CrossFit beginner one tip, what would it be? For me, my one tip for anyone who's starting CrossFit would be to find a friend. I want you to find a friend either inside the gym or outside of the gym that you can bring to the gym that will keep you accountable. Having someone to go head to head with in workouts, in nutrition challenges, just overall helping you stay accountable. Finding a friend is a major component about why I stayed in CrossFit, and I'm sure having a friend at the gym has helped you stay involved. So if you had one tip to give a CrossFit beginner, what would it be? Leave that in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching this video. Peace.